Managing for results, execution, metrics, and continuous improvement. In today's competitive business environment, results, not effort, are the ultimate measure of effective management. Managing for results means aligning organizational execution, performance metrics, and continuous improvement with the overall strategic intent. Execution is about turning strategy into action, using structured frameworks and clear accountability. Metrics allow us to monitor and manage what truly matters, ensuring every activity is tied to measurable outcomes. Continuous improvement ensures long-term sustainability and adaptability through feedback loops and process refinement. This course delivers a comprehensive approach to managing with purpose and precision. It will show how to develop a results-oriented mindset, how to align teams to strategic goals, and how to foster a culture focused on value creation. Success is not about staying busy, it's about delivering outcomes that matter. Results-based management is the modern manager's roadmap to sustainable performance and organizational agility. Introduction: Why managing for results matters. Management has evolved beyond simply coordinating effort. It now demands accountability for outcomes. Effective managers understand that results are the true metric of success. Strategic intent must be translated into specific, actionable outcomes that deliver measurable value. Aligning execution with strategy is essential to ensuring that organizational efforts contribute to long-term goals. A results-oriented mindset gives companies a competitive edge by encouraging speed, adaptability, and focus. Teams must be trained to think beyond tasks. They must prioritize value creation in everything they do. When strategy is aligned with operations, companies move with clarity and purpose. Results-based management ensures that every activity contributes meaningfully to success. By shifting focus from effort to outcomes, managers and teams can measure what matters, learn from performance, and continuously improve. The ability to deliver consistent, measurable results defines today's high-performing organizations and leaders. Course Roadmap: 3 Pillars of Results-Based Management. Managing for results is built on 3 foundational pillars: execution, metrics, and continuous improvement. First, execution involves turning strategy into action. This means setting clear goals, assigning accountability, and aligning resources across the organization. Execution is about ensuring that strategy doesn't remain a document. It becomes a living, measurable process. Second, metrics provide the tools for tracking progress. When you measure what matters, teams stay focused on impact. Effective metrics are aligned with goals, actionable in real time, and balanced between inputs, outputs, and outcomes. Finally, continuous improvement sustains success. It encourages organizations to adapt, optimize, and grow through feedback loops and structured learning. When these 3 elements work together, execution, measurement, and improvement, they form a complete system that drives sustainable results. This course dives deeply into each pillar to provide a practical, actionable framework for delivering strategic value through operational excellence. Execution: the discipline of making strategy real. Execution is where ideas meet action. No matter how well formulated a strategy is, success depends on converting it into concrete steps that drive results. Execution bridges the gap between vision and real-world outcomes. It requires discipline, structure, and accountability. Key elements that drive execution include clearly defined goals, cascading priorities, and ownership at every level. Everyone needs to know what success looks like and what their role is in achieving it. Execution also requires flexibility. Conditions change, so adaptability is essential. Teams that stay agile are better equipped to course correct based on real-time feedback. Effective execution is not about doing more. It's about doing the right things, consistently and with intention. This pillar is the foundation of results-based management and ensures that strategy becomes reality through focused, accountable action. Core elements of execution. Execution starts with clarity. Clear goals and cascading priorities ensure that every team and individual is working toward the same strategic objectives. These objectives must be broken down into actionable targets that can be tracked and measured. Ownership and accountability are equally vital. Each team member needs a defined role with measurable success criteria. No ambiguity. Resource alignment ensures that time, talent, tools, and training are available and synchronized to support the plan. Without proper alignment, even the best strategies will fall short. Agility and adaptability round out the execution engine. As new data emerges or priorities shift, organizations must be able to pivot quickly without losing momentum. A great example is a retail chain that assigned store-level service champions, tracked customer service metrics, and adapted training based on feedback. The result? A 27% boost in customer satisfaction within just 3 months. Structured execution drives measurable success. Common execution pitfalls. Execution often fails due to avoidable missteps. The first is a lack of clarity. When goals are vague, teams lose alignment, leading to misdirected efforts. Poor communication between teams creates silos, stalls collaboration, and limits progress. Another issue is management extremes. Micromanagement stifles creativity and autonomy, while complete detachment results in lack of guidance and missed accountability. Striking the right balance is critical. To mitigate these risks, use a RACI chart to clearly define roles. RACI stands for responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. Assigning these roles brings clarity to execution, prevents duplication of effort, and ensures everyone knows who is doing what. Strong ownership and precise communication are essential to overcoming execution failures. When expectations are clearly defined and communicated, teams can move forward with focus and alignment, increasing the likelihood of achieving meaningful outcomes. Best practices for strong execution. High-impact execution relies on proven frameworks and intentional practices. Begin by adopting tools like OKRs, objectives and key results, or 4DX, the 4 disciplines of execution. These frameworks help structure goals, prioritize actions, and track progress. Conduct weekly execution meetings focused solely on deliverables and blockers. These are not brainstorming sessions. They are laser-focused check-ins to move work forward. Celebrate completed tasks and resolve barriers quickly. Building a culture of execution requires performance-based recognition. When achievements are acknowledged, it reinforces the behaviors that lead to results. Agile project management tools such as Jira, Asana, or Monday.com can streamline workflows, increase visibility, and keep teams aligned. One effective tip: implement a weekly deliverables board. Visual tracking promotes accountability and gives teams a shared sense of progress. Execution isn't about busy work. It's about getting the right things done and generating real value. Metrics. Measuring what matters most. Metrics transform activity into insight. They tell the story of performance and guide decision-making. But not all metrics are created equal. Effective ones are aligned, actionable, and balanced. Alignment means metrics are directly tied to strategic goals. If a metric doesn't serve your mission, it's just noise. Actionable metrics influence decisions and behaviors. They are not vanity stats. They drive change. Balance is also critical. Blend leading indicators like sales pipeline velocity or training hours with lagging indicators such as revenue or customer satisfaction. This ensures you're monitoring both current inputs and eventual outcomes. When designed well, metrics provide feedback loops that empower teams to continuously refine their actions. The right data helps identify what's working, what's not, and where adjustments are needed. Metrics matter because they give you the tools to measure, manage, and improve performance over time. Designing effective metrics. To design effective metrics, focus on 3 key attributes: alignment, actionability, and balance. First, alignment means each metric must tie directly to a strategic goal or desired business outcome. Metrics that lack strategic alignment distract teams from what truly matters. Second, actionability ensures metrics influence behavior and decision-making. If data doesn't lead to a specific action, it becomes irrelevant. Avoid vanity metrics that look good but don't drive change. Finally, balance is essential. Include a mix of leading and lagging indicators. Leading indicators, like training hours or response time, give early signals of future outcomes. Lagging indicators, like revenue or net promoter scores, reflect results already achieved. Together, they provide a full view of performance. Use these principles to ensure that metrics are not just numbers on a dashboard, but powerful tools for driving operational excellence, learning, and adaptation across the organization. KPIs versus metrics. Not all metrics carry equal weight. Key performance indicators, or KPIs, represent the most critical metrics directly linked to success. They help organizations focus on what truly drives value. KPIs are few and focused, typically no more than 3 to 5 per team. They're tied to core business outcomes and reported to leadership. In contrast, broader metrics provide context and insights. These are often used by teams to support decisions, but are not mission-critical. For example, a KPI might be monthly revenue growth, while supporting metrics could include website traffic or conversion rates. Both types are valuable, but only KPIs should guide strategic action. Prioritize KPIs in team reviews and align them closely with the organization's goals. Avoid KPI overload, which can dilute focus and reduce impact. A targeted, prioritized approach ensures that metrics become drivers of meaningful performance. Metric pitfalls and implementation tips. Even good metrics can lead to poor outcomes if misused. One common pitfall is having too many metrics. When teams track everything, they prioritize nothing. Focus is lost and energy becomes fragmented. Another trap is gaming the system, when metrics unintentionally reward short-term or misleading behaviors. This undermines trust and distorts performance. Context also matters. Raw numbers without benchmarking or trend analysis can be misleading. To counter these issues, implement real-time dashboards and scorecards that provide clear, visual insight into progress. Build a data-literate culture. Ensure every team knows how to interpret and act on their metrics. Review and recalibrate regularly. Metrics that were relevant last quarter might not align with current priorities. Finally, conduct a metric audit. Identify which metrics are genuinely influencing decisions and remove those that don't. When metrics are well designed and actively managed, they become powerful levers for growth and alignment. Continuous improvement, sustaining and elevating results. Continuous improvement is the third pillar of managing for results. It's not enough to execute and measure. We must also evolve. Continuous improvement, or CI, is a mindset and discipline rooted in constant learning. It involves using feedback loops to uncover areas for growth. Insights can come from customer feedback, team retrospectives, or performance data. Once identified, apply process optimization methods like Lean, Six Sigma, or Kaizen. These frameworks reduce waste, enhance quality, and improve speed. Organizations that embrace CI also foster a learning culture. They promote experimentation, embrace failure as a learning tool, and encourage upskilling. The PDCA cycle, plan, do, check, act, provides a structured method for ongoing refinement. CI ensures that performance doesn't plateau. It keeps organizations resilient, agile, and ahead of change. Small, consistent improvements compound over time and create long-term competitive advantage. The continuous improvement mindset. Continuous improvement starts with mindset. It requires humility to recognize what isn't working, curiosity to explore better ways, and the discipline to follow through. Feedback loops are vital. They collect insights from customers, teams, and performance data. These insights fuel improvement. Process optimization methods such as Lean, Six Sigma, and Kaizen offer practical frameworks for eliminating inefficiencies and improving outcomes. But tools alone aren't enough. The right culture must be in place, one that encourages experimentation, celebrates learning from failure, and invests in employee growth. The PDCA cycle, plan, do, check, act, guides this process through structured, iterative learning. Organizations that embrace continuous improvement are not just fixing problems, they're building the capability to adapt and thrive. By fostering a learning culture, companies stay agile, competitive, and prepared for the future. Tools and competitive advantage in CI. Continuous improvement becomes powerful when paired with the right tools. The PDCA cycle is a cornerstone. Plan, do, check, act drives iterative progress. Root cause analysis, such as the 5 whys technique, helps teams dig beyond symptoms and identify fundamental issues. A3. Thinking provides a structured method for problem solving, especially within operations. These tools allow teams to implement improvement systematically. But the true payoff is competitive advantage. Organizations that embrace continuous improvement adapt faster to market changes and customer demands. They also retain top talent by fostering a culture of learning and growth. One example is Toyota's Kaizen system, where employees suggest small, incremental improvements. Over time, these small changes compound into major gains in quality, efficiency, and innovation. The key insight: continuous improvement is not a one-time effort. It's a philosophy of always getting better. Bringing it all together and key takeaways. Success in modern management comes from aligning strategy, execution, and learning. Results don't come from effort alone. They come from intentional execution, meaningful metrics, and a commitment to continuous improvement. Effective managers create clarity through defined goals and ownership. They measure what matters using KPIs that are aligned, actionable, and balanced. They also create momentum by using feedback loops and improvement cycles to optimize performance. The 3 pillars, execution, metrics, and continuous improvement, work together to turn intent into impact. To begin applying these principles, start with a small improvement project this week. Hold a team alignment session to clarify goals. Select 3 to 5 key KPIs that reflect success. Schedule a process improvement session and gather feedback. These small steps initiate a culture shift toward managing for results, not just effort. And over time, they lead to long-term success.